Wonderful day that the Lord has made. I want to share a little communication skills for really everybody, but the topic is emotional intelligent people. So, what does that mean, emotional intelligent people? Let's take a look at that because it's very important in this presentation that I'm going to share some very simple but yet powerful phrases that emotional intelligent people use to connect with others in meaningful ways. If you're looking to build people up, these expressions are a great place to start. Number one, I appreciate you. How often do you say that to people? I appreciate you. I really do. What you've done or what you're doing is just so awesome. It's another way of saying thank you. Do we say thank you enough today? I have a friend of mine when we go out to eat. Every time the waiter or waitress comes in to see us at the table for any reason to help us out with our foods that we've ordered, she always says to the waiter or waitress, thank you, thank you. Now, these phrases sound so simple, but they go a long way when it comes to expanding the good things around us. Emotional, intelligent people don't just express their gratitude because it's the polite and right thing to do. Like my friend, they get specific about what they're thankful for and why. Can we get specific why we're thankful and why? And guess what? They go further by saying, I appreciate what you're doing, that because. Now, they put that because they put the context around what makes the other person's actions impactful. Like I say, when this person comes at the table, my friend will always say, thank you, thank you. She puts it in context of each of the things that the waiter or waitress is doing for us at the table. It's a small thing, but it's a great habit to acknowledge the human being behind the good deed or work, that expressing positive feedback are a sure way to affirm people and bring strong connections with them. It's a good way to do it. Number two, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Now, these words can be among the most difficult to say, but emotionally intelligent people believe that the ability to apologize is a sign of courage and humility. But it is, it's a sign of courage and humility. Okay? They admit when they're wrong and they express remorse by doing something that hurt the other person or caused a breach of trust. They offer a sincere apology. They offer a sincere apology. This means knowing that it's not just about them, but about the other person who feels offended by them. Do we offend people on social media? I think we do. In fact, I know of some people who do that, and I don't think they have a conscience about doing it because they don't see the other person as a real person. So they take a jab at them. But take responsibility for their mistakes. They determine to correct the wrong behavior. Are you determined to correct the wrong behavior, even when maybe they say it's not a good thing to do? But I believe it is. Being genuine, being genuine in their attitude and tone. They never offer a smug or forced apology. Let me say that again. Being genuine in their attitude and tone. They never, ever offer a smug or forced apology. Number three, I hear you. Emotionally intelligent people never underestimate the power of telling someone that they're listening. Think about it for a minute. How would you feel if you were talking with somebody who seemed very distracted? Have you been in a conversation with people where you knew This wasn't a guess. You knew they were distracted. They weren't really listening to you. They had other things on their mind. And this is a downside. If you're going to be a good coach or mentor, you've got to show the person that you are truly, truly listening to them. So don't be distracted. Or worse, someone who invalidated your thoughts and feelings. Ah, this is even more distressing here, folks. It's more someone who invalidated your thoughts and feelings. I know that happens as I'm watching and I see people on social media. They'll invalidate your thoughts and feelings in a heartbeat. You've seen it, I've seen it. We've all probably experienced it. You see, active listening and empathy are fundamental people skills. I must state that again, folks. I must state that again. Active listening and empathy are fundamental people skills. That's the reason why I've been a coach, counselor, mentor since 1989. I've learned over the years through some hard knocks sometimes about doing just fundamentals. The simple things in life can be the most profound things in life if you really look at it from a practical standpoint of communication skills. And this is why emotional intelligent people do their best to understand how and why a person thinks and feels a certain way. See, when you hear these statements that you don't really agree with, and there's nothing wrong with being in disagreement, it's how you approach the disagreement. But can you understand the way they are feeling and acting and what they're saying is from their point of view? Maybe it's not yours. And sometimes I say a lot of things is certainly not my point of view. But they're very curious and attentive towards someone who's sharing something personal, sensitive, or difficult. Be sensitive if the person is sharing something that's personal and sensitive to them. And so we can just come alongside and be supportive. But you won't find them interrupting or talking about their own feelings during the conversation. Now that's good. You won't find them interrupting or talking about their own feelings during the conversation. I see this a lot with some campaign people. They'll be talking about their own agenda. This leads me to my next point. Number 4. Could you tell me more about what you're going through? Could you tell me more about what you're going through? That's a great conversational opener. During a conversation, does the person you're talking with ask you follow up questions that focuses on how you're feeling? And that's a good one to use if you're a coach, counselor, or mentor, or just a family mentor trying to communicate in a family environment sometimes that's negative of what you perhaps believe. Do they assume that they understand you correctly? See, they may not really understand you correctly of what you believe about the finished work of the cross. See, they may think that their part of their job is to finish what Jesus finished, which is impossibility. But for evangelicals, sometimes they think they have a role in their part. Let me share this little tidbit. You had nothing to do with your spiritual birth nor your physical birth. Well, did you? You didn't choose. You didn't choose your parents, did you? I don't think so. Did you choose your spiritual birth? No, God chose that for you too. See, we get hung up on the little things of life when we don't understand the big things of life. It's very encouraging to know that not only are we being listened to, but we are also being understood. That's big. To be understood is big. So you got to be listened to first in order to be understood. But some people just are not listened to be understood. They already just got it off already. right in the very beginning. But tell me more is a very inviting phrase that comes from a place of curiosity and compassion. Could you tell me more? That is a great opening. I know I've used that just millions of times over these years. Can you tell me more about that situation? Let me understand it a little bit better. Would you mind sharing that, some insights that maybe I don't quite see yet? See, that's open. But they'll start sharing more to clarify what they're thinking. Now, it shows you that the other person is really invested in the conversation. It has no hidden agenda behind their actions. See, as a coach, counselor, mentor for all these years, I had no hidden agenda by asking that question. It was sincere to the client that I could understand where they're coming from better, that I could help them. My whole objective was to minister to them, help hope and healing. But they came to see me in the first place. So I had no hidden agenda. So they want to clarify and they want to become attuned to how you feel. Okay? Number 5, this is the biggie. I understand what you're saying, but I understand what you're saying, but so you got to have to clarify the but. So what's the but all about? You got to clarify them. And when you clarify this, you'll be able to communicate some truth that they're looking for to give them help and hope and healing. This is just simple. It's quick. It's easy. It's understandable. And if you need a little help, hope and healing, I have a free Zoom evaluation. It doesn't cost you anything but a little time to send me your name and email address. In fact, I do these for quite frequently, quite frankly. They're free Zooms. Just send me your name and your email address, and I can send you a Zoom invitation. And we'll chat. We'll chat, and I'll give some simple tips and techniques I've been using for many years to find out where are you, where you want to go, and how you get there and get there. It's that simple. A little 3-step process that I've been working that process over and over for many years. Where are you now? Where do you want to go? How do you plan to get there? Do you have a roadmap to get there? Do you have some steps? Do you have some information? Maybe you just need a little nudge in certain areas. So if you do, email me, Dr. Cecil at teachtruth.net. That's it. DRCECIL at teachtruth.net. They'll come to me. I'll set up a free Zoom evaluation, and from there we'll see where we'll go. And as I do everything that I end with, I will say this: just be blessed today, my folks, my friends. Why? Because you already are, according to Ephesians 1:3. You have already been blessed in Christ Jesus with every spiritual blessing. So, bye-bye for now, and I'll stream to you some other time in the future.